RealAgriculture.com's coverage of Crop Week in Saskatoon is brought to you by FarmLink Marketing Solutions, BioVision Seed Labs, the Canadian Wheat Board, and High Stick NT. In 2010, Triffid Flax, of course, was the hot button issue. It was stakeholders. It was all stakeholders that really had things to lose in this whole thing. It wasn't just it was farmers, kind of everybody. Obviously, it really hit the farm level, though.
Yeah,
significantly.
everybody had a piece of the action. Yes.
Yeah. So, in terms of the future, how do we prevent this kind of thing from happening again? Or can you?
We can't ever go back to zero because the event has been approved in Canada and the U.S. The seed obviously has made its way into the system, or the gene has made its way into the system. The Crop Development Center here in Saskatoon is reconstituting its varieties, and what they're doing is growing out the breeder lines, testing the leaf samples to ensure there's no Triffid present, and then using those seeds to I call it rebreed the program. The breeders call it reconstitute the varieties. The only way we're going to eventually get to a normalization in trade is to approve in Canada a low-level presence policy, so that we too don't have it. Or today we have a zero tolerance to unapproved events in Canada, just as every other country has. We need to get Canada to adopt a low-level presence so that events that get approved in other countries can enter Canada without full approval at a low level, such as 0.1 or something in that fashion, so that as we continue to get more and more transgenic events occurring around the world, we don't shut off trade simply because we can't meet a zero tolerance.
So, from the flax perspective, why haven't we adopted the low-level presence policy in Canada?
Probably because the transgenic in terms of history is a relatively new terminology. It's a relatively new tool to the breeding industry, and when you introduce new processes, new products, some folks are very cautious, and so zero became the threshold level of tolerance until there's more experience in the area.
Two numbers that are the most dangerous are 0 and 100.
Exactly. Yeah. And 100 is much easier to deal with than 0.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're dealing with something that you can't really see.
Yeah, you can't see it. And I mean, you have to remember that the Triffid event went through all of the approval mechanisms, both here in the U.S.
Yeah.
They met all of the policies that were in place at the time for food, feed, and environmental release. So it is not a health issue. It is simply a trade issue that we're dealing with.